Welcome to the Patrick and Preston podcast. This is episode 1. Today we're going to be talking about Patrick's backstory, where he came from, what he's doing now, the challenges that he had to overcome when it comes to business and just life in general. So, the super open-ended question. Patrick, tell us about yourself. Where did you come from?
I'm a Mississippi boy. Grew up in Jackson, Mississippi. And
Is that how they say it?
Not Jackson.
Okay.
How you say how you want to, I guess.
You sound like you sound Cajun.
Yeah, Cajun. If you Louisiana, it's Jackson, Mississippi from Baton Rouge. No, it's not Baton Rouge. That would be
like, I don't know.
Hey,
Chicken,
you figure it out,
Cockney,
or garage. Well, now come back across the pond.
All right.
Jackson, Mississippi. So, yeah. And the beautiful part about that, growing up, the world, life was simple. None of this stuff existed, all this craziness. Especially standing in Mississippi, it was just, a whole different world. Never imagined I would have seen the things I've seen. And just be out, be a part of it. So that to me is the one thing I just want to make sure as we move forward, everybody knows I'm just this little country boy. Overalls, my grandfather, huge hero to me, huge. I love him to death. But as you grow up, you figure things out. Not everything being equal. And what I mean by that, you had a grandfather, even though I just absolutely just adored him. He struggled in life. They weren't that far, of course, removed from slavery. Grandfather couldn't read. I think he died at 84 years of age, and was a security guard. I think up until his death. It's kind of crazy to just work till you actually die, and then you're not even working, doing something crazy, something minimum wage. So, and then my father, he of course was the first one in his family to attend college. He didn't graduate, but he attended college.
Do you know what college
he went to? JSU, Jackson State University. So he went to college, and that was good. So things changed from one generation to the next, and it just kind of proves no matter what you see, it didn't have to stay that way. Just in my lifetime, in 50 years, things have changed for sure. So what was unbelievable. So anyway, that's as much of the backstory I guess we can get into now.
Okay. And so, did you go to college?
I did not. No.
So where did your career start off? You're in Dallas, Texas now. So, how did you get there? What's the story behind you moving to Texas?
And that was a simple one. I'm the youngest of 3. My brother and his wife, they were moving to Texas, and I wanted to get out of Mississippi because I went to school I didn't go to school, but it was a little CDC Career Development Center with high school. 2 years for electricians. So I learned that. I tried to become an electrician in Mississippi, and hey, I call it what it is. It was impossible because you were a little black kid. And when you went to apply, you sat around, you had to go, I don't remember where it was, but I remember I had to go into this, across this, other side of the city. And there were probably 7 or 8 white guys. They were all interviewing you to even let you in to whether you can become an apprentice. You're just trying to get a job, join the apprentice group or whatever, so you can be hired by one of the companies.
And just for those of us who don't know about the levels of trade, what is an apprentice? Is that entry level?
Yeah, entry level.
Okay.
Apprentice is just a guy who's going to carry the tools, dig the ditches, do whatever he has to do for the journeyman, which is, guy who's actually doing the work for the master electrician, who's actually designing the plans and doing whatever he needs to do there.
And so it was essentially the racism and not the lack of jobs in Mississippi that pushed you to Texas?
Absolutely. I wish I could say something different. I wish I could lie about it. I can't. It's the truth. That's what it was. So anyway, came to Texas. Got here. Got hired on as a apprentice electrician. Again, in a huge white firm. And I say that to just say the guys here in Texas, they weren't racist. They were trying to build crap. They didn't care about what race you were. So just 6-hour difference. Huge difference in people's mentality, opportunity, which I gotta tell you, that one thing, that shift of moving started to allow my mind to change, because in Mississippi it was just black and white, and literally you were either black or you were white, and everybody was racist. All the black people were racist against the white people people were racist against the black people, blah blah blah. In my group, I mean, come on, we weren't racist as young people, but even in our peer group, you still had, people being raised by their parents. I say people, I mean literally both sides. My dad was probably one of the most racist persons I've ever known, and I met other kids, white, black, who had some racist parents, and the parents taught them well to keep us all racist. So anyway, moving to Texas, obviously there was a lot of divorcing going on, so parents didn't have time to teach. So they weren't racist. At least they weren't as racist, but who cares?
Okay. So how long were you an electrician?
I think total, maybe, man, it's kind of hard to add this stuff up. I want to say 4 years max. Because I went from commercial electrician to residential, landscape lighting, that kind of stuff.
Got it. What happened after you moved on from the
So, the electrical thing was kind of crazy. I never forget, I was working electrical trade. It was going good. It was a guy by the name of Bill Adams. He was an older white gentleman. I was his, apprentice. He was a master electrician. And we were working. Man, this guy, we got to know each other pretty good. Of course, we were working together. And God Almighty, I loved him. Bill looked like, and I'm sounding racist, but it's the truth. He just looked like somebody from Virginia, long white beard. They looked like he should have had a pipe hanging out of his mouth and singing a famous, But anyway, but we were really, really, just really good friends. That's why I'm like telling you, Texas was just a totally different synergy of what you could deal with. But he would always tell me after probably about a couple of years of that, he's like, get out of this. Don't ever grow old. Don't grow old doing this stuff. And I'm like, man, I like you, Bill. This racist guy trying to keep something from me. He didn't want to see a black guy come up. It's because, again, ignorance, stupidity.
I mean, if you were raised around it, I guess that's your natural.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to tell you to change, and you're like, no.
I didn't trust any of them. So I was just being truthful. Maybe to help somebody. It's absolute truth. But I started looking into it, and I started thinking, I'm seeing all these older guys working. And I started, you getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're on these job sites. Again, you're the electrician, so you don't have any power to the place yet. So there's no heating. There's no cooling in the summer. It's either hot or cold.
I've never thought about that.
And you're in these buildings that are concrete and metal. So when it's cold, oh my God, it's cold. So I'm seeing all these older guys, and I guess at the time, in my mind, 60, 70 years old, I don't know how old. I'm thinking, Bill's right. I don't want to grow old doing this crap. So I started trying to figure things out. I started reading books, listening to stuff. It was a crazy life back then. Multi-level marketing, anything. It was a different way. We didn't have the internet thriving like today. You didn't even have a computer. So you start trying to figure out, how do I get out of this? How do I make more money? What do you guys call it? A side gig, side job?
Yeah, side hustles.
Side hustle. Shoot, side hustle. No, it was just a hustle. It wasn't that easy, boy.
Yeah.
It's a second job is what we call it. Y'all call it side hustle. We call it second job. Yeah.
Sometimes we call it both.
So it was different,
Yeah.
But that started me to start trying to figure it out. And I was always some sort of guy trying to make money, trying to figure it out, trying to say, hey, that guy has it. I'm not trying to say why him, why not me, and all that, and cry about it. It was just simple. How did he do it? How did he do it?
Yeah.
And coming into Texas, things were so different from the standpoint. You saw all kind of cars. This is like being in California. Luxury cars all over the place. Versus Mississippi, not so much. At the time, when we talking in the 70s, 80s, you didn't see all that luxury.
Right.
To see a Jaguar, was something just amazing. Look at that car.
A Jaguar?
Yeah.
Was Jaguar more luxurious back in the days?
Well, it broke down on you the same. now, I'm serious. It was one of, but it had the name. Versus today, today, hey, to me, it's a wonderful car.
They're amazing cars, but I've never stopped and been like, oh, Jaguar.
Yeah, because you grew up in Texas. However, that's my point. But in Mississippi, you're like, wow, that man has some money, blah, 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 all this other stuff. So it was different. It was different.
Okay.
So it's like, you got to, get out. So I started trying to figure this out. And anyway, you have to start researching. And it was different, but it was fun. So that's Mississippi. Not even really telling you the true badness of it. We'll come back to all that stuff.
Okay.
As far as family life and how you got here. But I got electrical work, then did some other stuff. That didn't quite work out, but I stuck. Man, I hung in there. And then one day, you did something that worked out for you. You made a little pocket change. You start taking care of your family the way you wanted to take care of your family, right?
Right.
And then you just, and through the process, you start surrounding yourself around really good people. And that's life changing when you really have good people around you. And man, it made a huge difference. So there you go.
So what was your next career? You got out of electrical. You got into what?
I got into hustling.
Got into hustling. So
Boy,
straight hustle.
Because my side gig when I was in electrical, we started selling perfumes.
Okay.
So and that was
so electrical and perfume at the same time.
Yeah, and so how that worked out for me, I did electrical, and then that was commercial, and then I stopped, and when I got married, and Mom and I both started peddling perfumes on the street. Crazy hustle at the time, but made a little money, right?
Right.
So then I had to go back to work with the residential electrician.
Okay.
And then at the end of that, I guess a couple years, because 2 years for the commercial, 2 years for the residential, I started to do perfumes on the weekend. So we actually made the perfumes. And I say made, I found a manufacturer that will give me the flavors, the smells that I wanted, and I wanted to procure the bottles, had them put the perfumes in the bottles, made some kind of system, went out, we would go to Trailers Village, it's kind of flea market, and we would just go sell perfumes.
Okay.
That was it. So did that for, I don't know, a year or two. Just on the side.
You made it big on perfumes.
I made it. I don't know if it was big.
made it.
It wasn't big, but I made it. Hey, it was, I don't know, we were buying them for, I think we made them for a couple of bucks, if I remember correctly. And, trying to sell them for $20. So, not a bad market.
Or so you made a profit of like 17, 16 bucks on it?
Not on everyone. There was a goal. Half the time you just wind up selling for $10.
Still,
and again, I don't remember what they cost. I really don't. But it wasn't anything crazy.
Were you making more on your side hustle than you were on your electrical job?
That's a wonderful question. I'm gonna say.
Sounds like a no. Sounds
like a no, and the reason why because it was a couple of us.
Yeah.
Because it was Ed, myself, at one point Ron, just some people in life.
Yeah.
And so we were out there. So no, because we would spend 2 days and we would make $1,000. Of course, we had all of us working. So no. And of course, we had to pay for actual materials.
Right. Okay.
And rent another booth. We had to rent the booth. So no. Okay.
So, what was your next hustle? That lasted for 2 years.
Oh man, So, I changed that and it went from a hustle, because I remember in the electrical field. Of course, I was married at that point, and I was hanging out with Mom over at Granddad's, work.
Mm-hmm.
The office, and I remember a courier coming in, and this guy just came in and dropped his package off. Somebody signed it, he walked out. What that guy doing? Another guy come in, sign a package, walk out. I didn't know much about business because I've been in the electrical field. I didn't see that side. I only saw the dirt. So
right.
I'm going to ask Aunt Sue, hey, because she was a receptionist. What is that? She told me. And then I said, okay, you know what? Here it is, it's raining. I can't work now because that's the way construction is. So I'm going to see if I can become a courier, which at the moment when they said it, I thought they were saying carrier because it made sense to my dyslexic mind. It must be a carrier. He's carrying something.
I mean,
so I go up
why are they called couriers?
I go up to Johnny and I said, hey, Johnny, I saw this guy coming in out of your building.
Who's Johnny?
So Johnny's my brother-in-law.
Got it.
So my brother-in-law he was working for his father, who they had a graphics business. So I'm trying to get in, make it work. So I said, hey Johnny, I saw a guy delivering packages. I was just wondering if I could be a carrier for you. And of course, Johnny, he's a sarcastic prick. Love him to death. I love him. He was like, you mean a courier? I'm like, what's a courier? No, I mean a carrier. He's like, no, idiot. It's courier. I learned something. Courier. Can I be a courier? I'm like, wait, how do you spell courier? That's all. I'm just like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. He was like, you know what? I don't care. If I'm just going to use whoever we call. You can be a courier. Here's the thing.
Nope.
You can be a courier. Here's the thing. You have to have insurance. And then that's a whole nother story for one day, how you get into it. But long story short, and as they say, too late. I started being a courier and did that for 10 years.
Okay.
10 years, made good money, had a courier business, provided for my family, able to send kids to private school, buy houses, do everything, just having a courier business. And so that was life changing for me.
Was the courier business itself?
It was the courier business itself was life changing because I went from just trying to find something into a situation where all I had to do was just work, make myself available, drive this car, deliver packages, hire people, hustle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that was nice. That was nice. Nobody cared anything about you. Can you get this package from point A to point B? If you do, I'll pay you. Period. How many can you do? So that was a different business for me.
And you knew nothing about courier services?
I didn't.
Starting off, you didn't know how to say the name.
I didn't even know what they were.
I still don't know how to spell it. I mean,
Courier.
It's gonna get jumbled later, but
yeah, I'm with you.
Nice. So if somebody wants to do something that they have no idea how to run the business, I mean, like, where do you start? Because I was listening to a Gary Vee live this morning. And Gary Vee live, this dude was like, I have $20,000. Should I start a business? Gary asked, well, what business do you want to start? Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know. Gary's like, well, you shouldn't start a business. Mm-hmm. Because there's no quicker way to throw away, and I'm not quoting anybody, this is my perception of it. There's no quicker way to throw away money than to get into a business that you have no idea how to do anything with, about, or even operate. Mm-hmm. So if somebody's in your position, they're side hustling and it's not working out for them, or in the position you were in. They're side hustling, it's not really working out for them, and they're making...
Or better yet, it's working out for them.
Or it's working out for them. How would you suggest they start a business?
You know, these days I hear everybody saying it. I would have to repeat it. The Google. You know, Google what you want to do, figure it out, and just do it. It's really just that simple. And I'm only saying that because I did it with the courier service. And then as we have other shows, the next business I went into, it didn't exist yet.
Right.
And I just did it, right?
Right.
Again, with people saying, oh, you can't do that, or whatever. Just do it. And then the next business, what did I do? The one we're in now, I just did it. So you just got to do it. You can't sit here and continue to pray about it. I mean, do your research.
Well, we are at the halfway point of the show, essentially, where we get out and we go for a run. And then we'll be back and we'll continue this after a short break.
Nice. From our sponsors.
We have no sponsors.
Oh,
man. All right. Welcome back. We just got done with the run. Yes, we are recording. Oh. Welcome back. We just got done with the run. Short, intense. Couldn't keep up with this guy. But hey.
But tomorrow, you'll be one step closer.
And so will you. You'll be one step further.
Hey.
All right, so we ended talking about the courier service and the lessons you've learned and how somebody can do the same thing. So let's move on to your next business. What was your next business that you did?
The next business was the management of cellular devices for corporations. So because of the courier service, you know, we were in the business of having two-way radios.
Okay.
Which is kind of crazy. And so you just literally two-way radio, CBs, that kind of stuff. Smoking and bandit, you know. Hey, good, hey there, good buddy, 10-4. And so that's how you communicate in the courier world. Mm-hmm. And that was in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And then Nextel, which is now Sprint, which is now T-Mobile, had a product where you could do a cellular phone that was a two-way radio. Basically, you know, chirp, talk back and forth. Mm-hmm. And so we were doing that, got out of two-way radios, got to the cell phones. I think they were called, well, I'm positive. They were $49.99 a month. And the beautiful part about it, you could just buy the phone for $200 or something like that. Versus the two-way radio cost, I think, $1,200. And then it was only $25 a month, but you had an upfront cost.
Right.
So Nextel being at $200, they just took over the market. Man, they sent all these little cute little girls out to these construction sites, and they basically replaced the two-way radios to the chirping. And then now guys don't have to be in a car carrying it around. They can just literally be on their hip like a cell phone, chirping, talking to each other. So one day, even though I had a Nextel, and we were doing all the chirping, I also had a cellular phone, a cell phone. And, you know, so I could talk to the wife or whatever at 25 cents a minute, which was kind of crazy. But, you know,
25 cents a minute?
Yeah. So you used to pay per minute. And it started out 25 cents. And it was, then you had time that you had off time at like, after 6, it was free. Just crazy stuff. Like, I mean, the cell phone was really expensive. And so you didn't have data. It was only cellular. But So I went in at the time, instead of AT&T, it was called Singular.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in.
Little orange X guy.
Yeah. So I went in to have the guy look at my plane, and the guy literally started to laugh at me. Oh my God! Basically, you're an idiot. You're overpaying for this. We don't even have this plane anymore. We don't have this feature. Why do you still have this feature? It's like, because you guys are crooks. All you have to freaking do is remove. You don't have it. Why you still charge me? Anyway, but I had my buddy there with me, Michael, and then Michael was like, when we came out of the store, he said, "Huh, that's a business." I'm going, "Hey, it's no business. It's prick. That's what that is. It's prick." Anyway, so so Michael's like, "Hey, if we can save people money, we can get people to pay us." You know, exactly what you just did. The guy just saved you $600 a year. It was something like that. I'm like, huh. So if we split it with him, a contingency, you know, you could have paid me $300 for saving that money because you didn't know any better. I'm like, nah, that's not a business, Michael. So every day I would call this guy and we would talk about this business every day, and Michael wanted us to do it on an individual level. Well, you know, I'm in business now. I don't want to do something individual, even though you probably make a lot of money. But I got to go to that one guy and say, "Hey, let me save you some money on your cell phone bill, and let me get you a better deal. And then I hope you pay me," which could work. But I was thinking more of an insurance, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And anyway, I started looking at my courier bills. And I called up and I got a discount. So Nextel had it for... That's why I told you the story at the beginning. Nextel was $49.99 a month, right?
Right.
And I called and I negotiated a plan with online, and I think I got it knocked down to $39 a month. I'm like, wow, $10 times 3 devices or 4 devices. So it was a $10 savings. Times 4 was 40. Times 12 was a $500 savings. $500 savings. So I went, wow.
Annually,
$500 annually. So I went, wow. You know, I should pay me $250. You know, and I saved me some money. You know, actually I saved me $500, but on contingency would be $250, right?
Right.
So I'm like, this could be a business. Michael's right, but I'm thinking differently. I don't want to do it like Michael and do individual, because he's thinking the numbers, but he has to fight to find those people or advertise them, whatever. How about I just go corporate? So I started looking into corporate and was surprised. Corporate companies had 200, 300, 1,000 phones. Well, you go find the one guy. I'd rather go find the guy with 1,000 phones and save them money. And that was the business. So we started a cellular management where we would save companies money, and it developed in all kind of stuff for cell phones. That's it.
So in this case, it wasn't it was technically in both cases, actually. With the courier service, you didn't really find that business, it found you.
I noticed the opportunity.
You noticed the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then with the cellular auditing, you found it, or you just noticed another opportunity?
No, Michael noticed the opportunity. I had not a clue. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. I had not a clue, right?
Right.
But he did. But I was smart enough to talk it through with him. And even though he could only take it to one level, then I was like, hey, no, we got to take it to another level. And then Michael came around. He was doing individuals, not getting traction. Then he started doing it on the business level, which was kind of funny because we disagreed on how to do it. And so we were friends. We just went our separate ways. I was younger then. He had a business, headhunter. So he was like, okay, well, you know, you're a little green. You don't really know things. So how about you do it your way? I do it my way. And then he sarcastically said and arrogantly said, then I'll buy you out. Which was funny.
Did he buy you out?
No.
You buy him out?
No, we at the end merged together. But his business, but he had collapsed, and mine was still thriving, and he came over, and I never did buy him out. We just said, hey, we can work together on some issues, and we made a lot more money on some other things. Still cellular, but he had knowledge on equipment and all this other stuff. It was just fun.
Okay.
But again, show me your friends and show you your future, which I would also add with that. And Michael will probably be seeing this, and I will leave this in. As long your friends are killing it, keep them. You keep killing it. Stay together. But if one of your friends decides to stop progressing, stop making it happen, stop working, stop trying to be entrepreneurial, stop trying to be innovative, get rid of it. Because if you show me a friend that's satisfied and going backwards, I'll show you your future. You'll be satisfied and going backwards.
Is there anything wrong with being satisfied?
It is in my world.
Only forward momentum.
It is in my world. Hey, that's it. I can't say, hey, it's my world. Why would I be satisfied? Satisfied with what?
Right.
What I did yesterday?
Right.
Got the rest of my life ahead of me. You ever see people that talk to you and would be like, oh yeah, I remember when. Why are you remembering when?
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to go off of. So you're trying to live this life and remember the life you used to have or what you did yesterday. Hey, Elon Musk, right? They just put a rocket. They just sent the guys up.
Right.
Okay, what? 4 more guys?
Something like that.
Yeah, 4 guys. They just send them up again. Now, what if he sits around and talk about, yeah, you remember when we sent the 4 guys? I mean, he's trying to send 20 guys, 100 guys. He's trying to make space travel like it is and with airplanes today. Get one, get in line and go. Boom, you did it. So you can't be satisfied with yesterday. Look at history. Anybody satisfied with yesterday
dies.
Not up for debate.
All right, so
Yes, sir.
looking at that's it's great advice. Looking at all that, now what business are you in now?
Home building.
Home building. How did you get into that?
Funny story. Not really funny story. It's a true story. So had a really another.
All of these are true stories.
That's true. I've been telling lies. Oh, so Barry, another good friend, he was in a home building business. We were hanging out one day, cruising around, and he told me, "Hey, I got to stop by my house I just built." And there's a guy I've only seen in a suit, and I'm like, "House you built? What are you talking about?" He said, "Yeah, I'm in a home building business." And I didn't know what business he was in. I didn't really care. And I'm like, home building. Okay, let's stop by your house. He stops by his house, shows me the house. It's a brand new house. Looks really nice. And I'm thinking, dude, you ain't never swung a hammer before in your life. What are you talking about? He was like, no, you idiot. You know, I'm a GC. I own the business. I have guys, subcontractors come in here and build my houses. Boom. Okay. Well, I still don't know what you're talking about, but I figured it out. Well, I'm just joking. I know what he's talking about. But I couldn't comprehend that Barry was building houses for a living. I mean, this guy's a multi-millionaire. Wow, okay. So, yeah, he was a home builder. And so, he got in it. I have a second son, so Cameron, which you'll see at some point in life. So Cameron graduated high school. He said, I'm not going to college, period, end of discussion. And so Barry likes, Cameron's stupidity and craziness. So Barry said, hey, why don't you come and work for me? Why don't you come build houses? I need somebody overseeing the project. So Cameron went and worked for Barry for a year. And Barry said, which I love, he said, you can work for me for a year, learn all you can, but you cannot continue to work for me. You're smarter than that. You need to be doing this yourself. I'm only going to pay you $30,000, $40,000 a year. You need to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And I'm not paying you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Go do your own thing. Sure enough, Cameron went to work for Barry for a year, and it was working out. Now, the backstory of that is, Barry and I, he was trying to get me into home building and real estate as well.
Uh-huh.
So this was around about 2013 that Barry was trying to get me involved. So he had some projects going. He was out of, you got all this stuff happening. 2013, people not really giving me a lot of money. Not that I remember. So
2013, the housing industry.
The housing industry was just starting to come back. It crashed in 2008.
Got it.
So he was back out buying, man. And he had a deal that he was just waiting for a house to close. He needed $50,000. So he came to me and said, hey, Patrick, I got a deal. I'll split it with you. It's 50 grand. We'll do it 25, except we're really not going to split it. How about you do the whole 50? and in a week or two or something, he said, I should have the 25 and give you the 25. The house will be on the market. He said, but this house is going to sell so fast, I probably never give you the 25. But when we sell it, I'll split the profits with you. I'm going, man, this guy's full of crap.
Wait. What do you mean he's probably not going to give you the 25?
He was just saying he's not going to give me the 25,000 because he was betting that the house was going to go on the market and sell that fast that in 2 weeks he would need to give me 25 grand because we would have a done deal. So I'm just giving you probably too much information on that.
Okay. So
we'll simplify it. I gave him $50,000, right? We went into this deal. Sure enough, the house, we went and cleaned it up and did our stuff. The house sold for $110,000 on the market for 1 week. So I got my money out of it, you know.
Yeah.
He got his money, and that was it. It was like, wow. But to Barry's defense, and he was telling me, you should buy this house. You should. He said, I'm not going to buy it. He said, but it should be your first house. You should buy it. You should rehab it. You're going to make a lot of money. I didn't listen to the guy. The guys bought the house for $110. They rehabbed the house. They sold it for $450. I wasn't in the business. I didn't know. He didn't care because he had a house across the street, and then plus, which I love, he was straight up with me. But when we bought that for $50, it came with 2 lots. He was only going on a deal with me for the 1 lot, so he didn't cheat me. Once he sold the other one, he just went and built on the second lot because he knew what he was buying.
Right.
Again, I was just a guy coming in with the money at the time doing the deal. I can't be mad at a guy for being smart.
Right.
In no way did he screw me. I was like, wow. So I'm seeing the whole thing. I'm going, man, this was unbelievable.
I kind of remember that. That was in the Arts District, right?
Yeah, Bishop Arts District. So I'm going, this whole thing was pretty sweet. I mean, he used money to buy a lot to make a little money to get the lot he wanted. He didn't want to deal with the rehab because he was a new home builder. I probably should stop waving it from.
Sorry.
So he was a new home builder, and he had already built one across the street that was worth $400,000. That he stole a lot for, basically with $50,000, built a $150,000 house. So he was rolling.
Right.
So he was killing it. And this was right before when he saw what was happening in Bishop Park. So he went around the corner and started buying up all these properties. And now you know what they're worth, $1 million.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're talking about in 7 years. Wow, what a deal. So pretty good. So getting back to how I got in home building, at that time, my cell phone business doing so good, I still didn't get in it. I didn't want to fool with home building. I mean, I had a business that was killing it. Why do I want to buy my time? So Cameron got working for Barry after a year. Oh, well, I told you that, the buying the property. It's because after I bought that property, made a little scratch. We went to the auction, bought some more properties, sold those just as fast, made some more money, and then I decided, hey, I'm gonna keep buying property. So I bought 5, 6, 7 properties. I don't know. I was just taking cash and investing in properties because it was cheap. Right. And I just figured, hey, who knows what happens? What would happen in the future? So Cameron worked for Barry, and then Cameron got out of it. Cameron wanted to build his lot, and for some reason, he bought a property from another guy, one of the other guys, for like 10 grand, and then built his first home over on Janelle. Built his first home. It worked out. Everything was good. Now, I don't know why I didn't sell Cameron one of my properties. I really don't know. I can't tell you. But anyway, after he did that first home, then he started pulling out of my inventory. So whatever I paid for, if I paid $20,000, I would sell it to him for $25,000. I made my $5,000. He would have made his $50,000. I don't even know at the time because homes were only selling for about $150, so it couldn't be that much, but whatever. So it was a pretty good deal. So I kept buying properties. He kept building, and long story short, I think about 5, 6 years of that, I saw the potential, and I'm thinking, you know what? If this kid, my son, if he has some help, this could take off. So then, of course, I started helping him. buying bigger, better properties, trying to get rid of the inventory, and start feeding the beast because he had cash, and we'll go. That's another day how he got the cash to do the first home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started throwing in my money, and then we started building multiple homes. And then after that, you just like, hey, this is a wonderful business, and there you are. You're in the home building business.
Okay. You know, what I think is interesting about each of one of the businesses that you have been in is that they're more spotted opportunities. I mean, they're like pure entrepreneurial, courier service.
Yeah, nothing new with that. That's been around forever.
But like you saw that, hey, this is not even a hole that needs to be filled, but it's something that can be done, and you went and did it.
Yeah.
Same thing with auditing. Same thing with home builders. It was all people coming to you or things brought to your attention. And you just went and made a business out of it, which is like the definition of entrepreneurial.
Yeah, you know, again, I had good friends around me who were not satisfied with being stagnant. They were always looking, how can I make more? What can I do? And I was one of the guys as well, not satisfied with nothing. So let's figure this out. Hey, opportunity. Let's see what happens. And I will add, what was crazy, I'll never forget when I got into the cell phone business. At the time, the auditing business, it didn't exist for cell phones. So we had to go and explain to every company who we are, what we were doing. There were no other companies out there doing it. We were one of the first. And, you know, it's just crazy. But I remember having a meeting with some other friends. I think it was over Labor Day. And trying to tell them everything that I was thinking about doing. Had research on the internet, couldn't find anything. And I'm going to start this business. If they want to invest, they can. If they want to come aboard, I need salespeople. And they were all like, it'll never work. And I was like, oh, heck no. These friends, I got to get rid of them. Well, I didn't get rid of them, but you know what? We stopped hanging out. And truthfully, today, I can tell you where they are, but we're not friends because of people, again, in my life who was trying to tell me before I even started, you can't do this. And I'm going, yes, I can. Not only I can, I'm going to. Why? This is not this discussion of whether I can. It's just, do you want to be a part of it? That was the question.
Right.
You know, it's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely crazy how it happens. And I say that because you hear so much on the different YouTube, TikTok, whatever, books. They tell you, don't let people tell you you can't succeed. And when someone tells you you can't succeed, get rid of that person. I'm gonna say, child your mother or father. Give them a chance. When they say you can't succeed, say, "Ooh, Mom, I don't listen to that negative. I need you to say things differently when you're around me, okay? Because I love you and I really want to be around you. But you choose whether I'm around you or not,
right?
Because if you keep telling me I can't, I have to get rid of you. I have to because I will become your prophecy. So either you got to decide. Friends, man, cut a friend in a second. I'm just telling you, man, screw that. Just cut a friend. If you don't like this video, you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. But I guarantee you'll still be going in a freaking circle with your sorry ass friends.
Truth. Because, you know, it's funny. If I was to look at this from a completely objective standpoint, and if I didn't know the history, I would say that your friends actually had a valid point. I'm like, this does kind of seem crazy. I mean, like, nobody else is doing it. Everything is so new. Like, how are you gonna? Like, there were legitimate concerns. Still, you got past all those concerns. Everything that seemed impossible, everything that was impossible at the time, you changed to a possibility over time. And keep those friends around, and the impossible remains impossible. But the only thing the only way to find out if something is actually impossible is to just go out and do it. And if you do it, it's no longer impossible. It's now possible.
That's it. And what the beautiful part about it, again, I went from the courier service, which was a I'm running around delivering packages. I wasn't in corporate America. I didn't go to college. I still didn't know how all this stuff worked, right?
Right.
To now, I'm the CEO of a company, eventually had 30 employees, and I'm still trying to make this thing happen and figure it out. And I still, I didn't have the best people. I didn't have the best people around. I had some toxic relationships, and they know who they are. It's just truth. Hey, I gotta speak truth. I don't care who sees it. It's freaking truth. And then there were companies, because of the people I had around me, and we kind of, again, even though we were making money, we were never what we could have been. There were literally corporations that started. I mean, companies all over the place still started auditing cell phones.
Because of y'all.
Yeah, because we brought it into the market. And remember, I told you about the Nextel girls and all that, and out there in construction and other guys, they had all the young people. And cell phone, you had the companies, they had young people all over the place, right? You didn't walk in the AT&T store. There wasn't an AT&T store. I mean, you could walk in to Singular and buy a phone, but you need to get out of here because they were all independent dealers.
Right.
And so for the most part, they had a mobile sales force, which is funny, mobile. And so when that happened, and we started saving money, we were coming across a lot of people, again, go-getters out there, salespeople, and they started saying, hey, if this guy's making money doing this, let me be his friend. Tell me how it happened. I never did tell my secret, but Michael, God almighty, he talked too much. God almighty, he talked too much. So he put a lot of those guys in business. They started figuring out what we were doing, how we were doing it, how we were saving money. Now you can just call up a carrier and save money. You don't have to go through the process we were going through. But it wasn't that easy before.
No?
I mean, you call up a carrier and say, I want to save money. They were like, I'm not saving you any money. Why do I save you any money? It's impossible. So you had to go to what they call retention. That was the secret to everything back in the day. You would go through the retention, they want to keep your business, right?
Right.
So they had special powers to discount the rates to keep you. That was our whole business model. That was just real simple. And people, so once everybody found out what and how we were doing in Salesforce, then people started getting together, making it work. Of course, I had people trying to buy the company. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. That ride over that, course of the last 20 years it taught me a lot about business. Met some wonderful people. Jeff, all my Jeffs,
All your Jeffs. How many Jeffs you have? You have 1, 2, 3?
3, yeah.
3 Jeffs.
Man, good people. Matter of fact, I gotta go. My mentor, Jeff Hart. Oh, man, killer guy. I met him because he was trying to buy the company. He flew in. We just became good buddies, friends. Never did sell the company, but man, one of the smartest guys I know. Also in real estate. He was doing all this other stuff. I hear he was a CEO. He would go do corporate takeovers. But at the end of the day, his wife was a realtor, and then they would build houses on the side to pay for his portion.
I'm sorry. It seems like real estate is either the best side hustle or the best hustle. No matter what you're doing. I mean, with what I see people doing, you should always be in real estate.
Oh, you have to. And then the other Jeff, what I like to call my Jewish attorney. If you have an attorney, I'm not knocking anybody. Make sure they're Jewish. I love Jeff. They don't play. They are not trying to get rid of your money. Jeff, oh my God, Jeff Sandberg. I need to figure out for Dallas. I need to do a shout out for him. Free sponsorship. Jeff Sandberg in Dallas, Texas, working for Pam Law. Excellent kid. Excellent. So yeah, man, family. And then the third Jeff, I lied.
I was like, I don't know a third Jeff.
Bree's husband. I'll throw that out there. I don't know. No, it's not a third Jeff. But I didn't want to say at the beginning, yes, 3 Jeffs. And I mean, 2 Jeffs. And I go, oh, the third Jeff. Sorry, the other Jeff.
Hey, man,
so I had to go for it. Everybody did Jeffs.
Just say you got an extra Jeff in your life.
Hey, you know what? It's prophecy.
Hey, it's better to have another Jeff coming. There's another Jeff coming.
It's better to have what?
Better to have too many Jeffs than not enough.
Absolutely. Especially, I need a Jeff that's a doctor. There you go. It kind of complete the trifecta. That was it with the business. Real estate is such a beautiful thing because of the way you're not rich dad, poor dad, get into it. You can make money, roll money. I forgot what they call it, that exchange where I forgot what the number, but basically you can sell a property, have somebody else hold your money so you never take possession of your money, and go buy another property. Boom, you don't have any tax ramifications, but your money's still working and you still hustling and selling and going. There's so many ways to do it in real estate. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Or you can just flat out make money, pay your taxes, and move on, depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Everybody's different.
Makes sense.
When you have two businesses, sometimes, now like I can turn a business into a loss on one side because of what I decide to buy and do, so I don't have to worry about taxes as much because this business is losing money, this business is making money, LLCs, everything comes together. Life is nice.
Man. All right.
Yeah. That's episode 250.
That's the episode down the road. So we're getting close to the end. We're in the last few minutes. Any closing thoughts about where you are today, what your goals are?
Closing thoughts, not closing. I'm close.
I thought it was always be closing though.
No. I thought it always be constructing.
Always be constructing.
You watching movie crap. Always be closing. In sales. You know what? I will tell you, and I should go on record saying this. I hate, because I've done it. I had salespeople. I just hate salespeople because they're.
You hate salespeople?
I hate salespeople. And Grant will tell you. You know why Grant's in business?
Why?
You know why Grant is in business? Because there's so many chicken salespeople that can't freaking close anything, and they're afraid to close. They go through the whole process, take your time, go through all these sales training, and still can't freaking ask for the business. I hate salespeople.
Because of the chicken salespeople.
Yeah. They just you
not the closers.
You have. I don't want to go bad number. All numbers are arbitrary. Okay, you have 10 salespeople. I guarantee you only gotta have one good one. Okay. So I got 9 guys I don't like.
That's true.
I got 9 guys that's taking my time, wanting me to do a better process, wanting me to figure it out, wanting me to make it easier for them, wanting me to change the contract. Yeah. So go back to your deal. In my world, always be constructive. ABC, always be constructing. You constructing, you building something, man, you cannot beat it. Closing, whatever. But here's the deal. But what I would tell you is always be looking for opportunity.
Always be looking for opportunities.
Always have good people around you.
Always have good people around you.
And
those are good.
Decide your friends based on their present. Just
based on their present?
Yeah. Based on their present.
Oh, where they are.
Where they are right now. I don't really care what you telling me where you're going. If I cared, I would stop and ask you, why haven't you gotten there?
That's a good point.
I don't have time to drag you along. I drug people my whole life. Hey, you can do it. Come with me. I can do that on YouTube. I can do that on Instagram. I can do it on, hey, you can do it. But I ain't doing it in my real life. You need to go figure it out. You need to go read the books. You need to go make it happen. You need to go see if you can do it. And then when you do it, then come in the big boy club. Yeah. Then come with us who are doing it every day. Because the only reason why you haven't done it is because you're not doing it. So, don't have losers in your life. You are the only person in control of your life. Demand greatness. Demand that the people around you must be successful. And how you define success. I don't care how you define it. But in your world, make sure that those people under your definition of success are successful. That's it.
Makes sense.
You will have a wonderful life.
Because you show me your friends,
and I'll show you your future.
So, guys, thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Patrick and Preston podcast.
No, the Preston and Patrick part.
The Preston and Patrick. Well, that's like my name, so like.
But you got to throw it out there.
All right. Okay. Well, we're going to do the Preston and Patrick podcast.
All right.
Tune in tomorrow. We'll do it again.
And who we can have as a guest? Nobody.
I just threw that out there. Talking about you.
Yeah. I just threw it out there.
Unless we can, find a way to wrangle up a guest real quick.
No.
Nah. Like, subscribe, share if you're watching on a shareable platform, and we will see you tomorrow.
Enjoyed it.